you. Thanks for having me today. Let me begin by saying that we are all we're proud of the American dominance in the innovation in areas like pharma, R&D, life sciences, biotech, drug discovery techniques, gene therapy, med devices innovation, etc. If we start thinking of sectors other than that, like care administration, care coordination, payers, we see a bit of tapering down, a little bit of substandard patient experience, and maybe a population health outcome that's suboptimal. Um, Several reasons come to mind. There are systemic reasons. Macro factors like socioeconomic divide or government regulations that drive some of this hesitation. But I guess more importantly, we all need to own up a little bit of responsibility there. There are factors inherent within our organizations that lead to this sort of fence-sitter attitude towards innovation. From the reasons could be many. There could be lack of executive will to take risks. Sometimes there's lack of funding internally. Sometimes it's just a matter of lack of in-house talent, or focus, or just budgets. Traditionally, I mean, not all, but most of our healthcare providers have allowed themselves to equate innovation with risk. And as a result of that mindset, any innovation is treated with too much caution, with the great excuse of, let's not mend it if it's not broken. You can take many, many examples from many other industries who have believed in exactly the opposite and are reaping the benefits thereof. So I believe that in the current scenario, the tech-led innovation has to be seen specifically on the care administration side of things, as a direct enabler of improved health outcome for the population, for the patient. Until the time our stakeholder organizations and governments see that link, we will perhaps, unfortunately, have to continue to deal with some of the challenges that we see across our nation. First of all, thank you for naming the patient as actually consumer. So it's about time that the patient starts being seen as one. See, technology like cloud, analytics, IoT, even RPA or AI, they've been, some of them have been around for a while and they're mature enough, economically viable enough. But healthcare has traditionally not been very quick to adapt. And let's take an example from another industry. I think Nicole was talking about banking, right? If you deposit one bank's check into another, the bank number two is not going to ask you to go back to bank number one, get the cash out and deposit, right? They simply just do all the check processing in the background. There's a clearinghouse. It's 99.99% automated for decades. Take the same example. Why? I mean, I wonder, why do I need to carry a CD of my own MRI from U Chicago to, if I want to see another doctor at Rush University? Point I'm trying to make is that technology has been there for a while. Something in the healthcare sector has helped us back from applying it to make the patient experience seamless. And consequently, this has made the system a lot more complicated and inefficient than it needs to be. So yes, to your question, whether it was consumer demands or push for efficiencies in part of the healthcare providers, I guess whatever the right answer is, like, it's about time that healthcare went digital. And guess what? A shock like COVID, as unfortunate as it is, just made digital much more important than it has ever been for healthcare. It just seems that everybody in healthcare is all digital woke now. In the last 6 months, I feel that the speed of adoption has accelerated a lot more than any other industry, perhaps because everyone else is already there. There's so many examples of application of AI and patient experience, or RPA and back office efficiency gains, or home at health solution, which I know Rick spoke at length about. Med devices, your wearables, all of them have all of a sudden gained a lot of prominence. And I really feel that it's about time that healthcare beats all the other industries, by the way, and not just adopting, but actually accelerating and getting ahead of the demands that the consumer is putting in front of us. Vaccinate the world. So, hey,
No small feat.
tall order. See, this entire vaccine to vaccinated value chain, this comprises hundreds of countries, thousands of organizations. They need to effectively play this game well. It's truly a battle of speed, accuracy, and collaboration. The challenge is to deliver 10 plus billion doses across, hundreds of countries, right? Now, there's many aspects of this chain that emerging tech, such as artificial intelligence or RPA or IoT, can really accelerate. I can think of one example. Um, all these different stakeholders in the chain, the producers and suppliers of raw materials, drugs, vaccines, ancillary products, PPP equipment, all of them, they need to collaborate, not just to produce, but to also create inventories and stockpiles so that they can effectively meet demands. This is not, hopefully, I really wish and pray that this is the last ever virus that we're going to encounter, but chances are we're not. So there will be another one and another one, right? So you have to be able to create a value chain that is sustainable and fast and accurate, right? And reliable. Technologies such as AI-infused RPA, for example, can really help create all these different bridges, data bridges. We spoke at length about data earlier in the session. Create all these bridges between all these different parties that have not been traditionally talking to each other or are not used to. And within those bridges, you can create quick and accurate flow of data where none existed in the past. And not only this will help in the flow of data, but also create transparency across the chain. So you will know when you will get vaccinated, where, how, etc. I mean, for God's sake, for the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, I've been trying to figure out for me and my family where can I get registered? And there's just no availability, no availability, no availability, and no availability. That's it. So technology can help, absolutely. I believe that the whole drug development cycle will be leaping big time with the advent of this small and lesser known technology today called quantum computing. It is yet to be sort of commercialized. It's not yet economically viable. There's only a few computers in the world right now. 10 years from now, I do believe it has the potential to transform every single thing that we do across all sectors, not just healthcare. If AI enabled us to develop this vaccine in 12 months, quantum computing could have done it maybe in a few days. And if anybody wants to know more, just Google. Just to kind of add to that, Holly, if I can, what Rick said, there's technologies right there, I see another question around blockchain that can really enable interoperability, security, compliance, everything put together. The only way we've been able to make sense of blockchain so far is cryptocurrency, right? Now, does healthcare have a use there? I think EHR, portability, and PHR, absolutely, that's a beautiful use case. Someone somewhere must already been working on it. I can tell you that. And and I'm sure Steve with Matter, you deal with hundreds of startups. I'm sure that there is somebody out there who's already coming up with something cool. Jump in once more. I once heard a story from China. In China, the doctors were incented to keep the patients out of the hospital. And the day we will be able to measure how many days in a year we are able to keep a family out of care effectively, healthily, is the day when everybody is going to line up behind that cause. That's my very simplistic view in life. But I guess if the regulators are listening, they may want to start bringing up some policies to that effect.